Prince of Persia, Palworld, Tekken 8, and now the newest Yakuza. Or Like a Dragon, as they prefer to be called now. 4 absolute bangers in just January. I guess the gaming glory that was 2023 is overspilling into 2024 a little. For some titles at least. Oof. But seeing as fighting games and roguelikes I'm not really that much into these days anymore, and definitely not Pokemon I'm gonna catch once they release on a PlayStation in the inevitable future. There was only one game that I was readying my backside up for. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. The 8th, or technically the 9th main installment in this spectacular, yet still somehow pretty underrated and unknown series. Or is it? Because according to the latest news, Infinite Wealth is reported to have sold over 1 million units in its first week alone, making it now the studio's fastest selling game by a pretty large margin. The only thing I can say to that is, well fucking deserved. These games are so fucking massive, and yet so few people really know about them. I mean, yeah, people know, but I'd argue people actually don't know if they haven't played. For if you haven't played, it's just that cheap Japanese GTA knockoff. I thought it was just that cheap Japanese GTA knockoff. I haven't played. Until 2020 happened, along with the imminent boredom, and I played. And a full month later, my very much unprepared feeble mind was blown. Because this is no cheap Japanese GTA knockoff. This is, quite literally, Japan at the game. As in, I can't think of a gaming genre that hasn't been yet represented within these amazing games. Fighting, racing, shooting, RPG, tycoon management, karaoke. If you seek it, you will find it, with a bit of Japanese Great Coke sprinkled on top of it. Yakuza games are truly in a league of their own when it comes to the amount of varied content they have. And not knowing about them is like not knowing that the entirety of Australia exists. But again, it seems like those times are slowly changing, and more people than ever are diving headfirst into this wacky, freaky world of Japanese mafia for themselves. Lately, hugely, thanks to the newest entry into this series, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So, how is it holding up? Well, if I had to sum it up in one sentence, it would be, hey, I knew it was gonna be big, but holy fucking moose shit, did they outdone themselves this time? It's massive and very addicting. I knew there was no possible way I was gonna finish the whole game in a mere week, so I told myself, 20 hours in, I'm gonna stop, reevaluate my thoughts and write a review. I am now 33 hours in, and I can't stop. The amount of pure quality side content there is genuinely mind-boggling. I'd even say, compared to the previous games, it's the best it's ever been. You've got minigames, where I'm yet to come across one that's not well built, hilarious, or just absolutely captivating. And by the way, captivating is right. There's this one minigame in particular that is the play on the tycoon management genre, a la taking care of a little Animal Crossing style island, and holy shit. I've been here for the past 15 hours now. I've got no memory of what the game's main story even is anymore, for I've got an island now, and it ain't gonna manage itself. Sheesh. Woo. Oh shit. There's a full-on game within this game. With its own menus, currency, NPCs, mechanics, story? Like what the actual fuck? You can spend so much time here, building, managing, decorating, you genuinely forget that this is just a minigame, not the actual game. So whenever you do finally decide to leave, it's the most trippy shit, realizing that somehow there's still a whole-ass AAA game waiting to be played. It's like having one of those crazy deep dreams where you somehow live a full life, only to wake up, not fully knowing what planet you're even on, but then you see Gandalf puffing his pipe across from you, and you remember. The ring. Other than that, I'm yet to catch all the Sujimon, aka these freaky dudes you can train and battle. Or deliver food crazy fast with my crazy bike. Whoa! Oh! What the fuck? or upgrade my Tinder profile and practice my impeccable riz online. There's something about... Whoa! Whoa! What the fuck? That's an ass! Damn! An armpit. Dude, these are actual pictures. Yes! It's full! Yes! Oh, what? Oh my god. Or just so much more. The sub-stories. Same story. From getting to the root of why this older gentleman keeps buying up all the shaved ice from all the ice stands in all of Hawaii just to chuck it onto himself, to being the main star in one of those crazy Japanese game shows due to some rather convenient circumstances. Oh, it's gonna be me, right? It's gonna be me. God damn it. There is a lot of them, and they're all so good. I think the main reason behind why everything, including the sub-stories and minigames, feels just so fresh this time around is the fact that for the first time in the series, it's not set in Japan. Whoever had the genius idea to have this game be set in Honolulu, Hawaii of all places, it's so good. It makes you wonder, why don't more games have their game be set in Hawaii? I genuinely don't think I've seen it in any other non-racing game before. New York, LA, even fucking Paris on the other hand, yeah. Developers love those, don't they? What makes Honolulu even more special in Infinite Wealth though, is just with how much care and attention to detail they lean into its Hawaiian theme. Beaches, malls, tourist traps, the homeless, everything here, even the minigames and the sub-stories, scream Hawaii, and it couldn't be more refreshing. I just recently revisited Yokohama from the previous 7th game for another unrelated video, and it was just kinda striking to me how soulless the city felt. A big grey concrete jungle maze, where every street corner looks just like the rest. Honolulu, on the other hand, is showcasing its soul on a full display. It's like McDonald's before they got rid of Ronald. And those sick-ass slides. Plus, there is so much quality map design to explore and to see. It honestly might as well be made by Rockstar. I mean, yeah, at a first glance, the map may perhaps look a little small, especially compared to every other game in the existence. But do not let that fool you, because unlike other games, well, there's no cars first of all, just feet. So it does take a while to get from A to B, but then also, Honolulu is dense. So fucking dense. Minigames, sub-stories, shops, bars, restaurants, convenience stores, photo rallies, taxis, walk-in talks, raids, crafting stations, dungeons! Or in other words, pick a direction, go that direction, and just have an absolute fun time doing the most random shit that has nothing to do with the main story whatsoever. Oh, you're no friends with Ruby. Fuck yeah. It's actually amazing. Watch out though, there's also some oversensitive goons roaming around everywhere, ready to get their asses kicked in spectacular ways. By you. Nice, holy shit, that's a big one. The fighting, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little scared off when going into this game, because for those that don't know, the Yakuza games used to be beat-em-ups. Very, extremely good beat-em-ups at that. But the series has been going on for a while, first Yakuza releasing on PS2 way back in 2005. It was time to change, RGG Studio fought oh so bravely. And so, Yakuza 7 came along, and with a brand new protagonist, it also introduced a brand new fight system. In a singular game, the series went from real-time beat-em-ups to turn-based RPGs. I have played the 7th Yakuza. The new fighting was a lot of fun. Until it wasn't. Because it just didn't take long for it to get stale and kind of repetitive. Shutting your brain off and spamming the same attack to get through pretty much 90% of the fights will do that. Good start, but it was clear. It did need just a little bit more work. And oh boy, has some work been done for Infinite Wealth. The most notable upgrade, the big blue circle you can now move within, making every turn a careful game of positions. Line your enemies up and get them all at once with a well-timed tire throw. Damn, perfect run. Or surround them and bounce them off of each other like it's a pinball machine. Or just essentially seduce some of them and they will take care of each other for you. Oh my god. The possibilities are endless. It's kind of funny, actually, if you remember, when South Park pulled something very similar, where in the Stick of Truth, their first game, your party was all stationary, and all you could really do is, again, spam the same most powerful attack until you ran out of mana. But then Fractured But Whole came out, the sequel, in which you could now move, opening doors to the most fun position-based turn-based combat I've seen to date. I loved it then, I love it now. Besides normal attacks, there's also the quote-unquote magic attacks and the healing/buffs attacks. What the fuck? You can inflict status damage on your enemies, they can inflict the same on you. Some have guards you gotta break first before attacking, you can guard every attack of theirs with a well-timed parry. Are you serious? Or if your parry timing is anything like mine and you're getting your ass beat on the regular. What the fuck was that? Damn it. What the fuck? Just call up the Poundmate's delivery service for some additional help. Oh boy.
Delivery!
All of this makes for a battle system that, so far, genuinely never got stale. I mean, to be fair, what also helps this is the massive variety of attacks that you, but also your enemies, do deploy.
Think you can stand after this?
What? There's always something new coming towards your poor face. And even if by chance it does get stale, let's say later on when grinding for levels, just turn on the battle tempo mod and let your team fight on their own. So what actually happens if I do O2? Oh. Yo, that's pretty cool. I've only tried this thing once, but it did seem to do its job well. Very grind friendly, which I do gotta praise. Outside of the fighting itself, you've got various armor pieces in the form of hats, shirts, shoes, numerous consumables in the form of food, drinks, ice cream, right? Or of course weapons in the form of a lot of things. All of these are findable or buyable, plus weapons are even craftable, modifiable and upgradable. Jesus Christ. On top of that, you have jobs you can switch to and level up, giving you completely new sets of attacks. Or style. Wait, what do you have? Flipper to the lipper. What? Trippy Flipper Ripper. What? Damn! Friendship bingo cards that you can fill up that reward you with many battle bonuses. Actually kinda hard school quizzes that expand your personality tree, enabling you to research even more jobs. Shit!
Damn!
Like a dragon, Infinite Wealth is oozing with mechanics, metrics, or just things to level up. But as dense and interconnected as all of it seems, it's presented in a way that is not overwhelming, nonsensical, or confusing. Which I'd imagine is not the easiest of things to pull off successfully. God of War Ragnarok's menus are a great example of this. Way less mechanics in that one, and yet way more confusing to navigate through somehow. So to sum it up, the gameplay in Infinite Wealth is thick, varied, and a lot of fun. A properly dense and humongous RPG adventure. Speaking of adventure! The story of Infinite Wealth. I am avoiding on purpose. I'm not gonna be the one that spoils it for you, as much as I wanna talk about it. It's the best part of these games, and Infinite Wealth is, surprise surprise, no exception. I'm only about just over a third done, but already I can confidently say, this one slaps. The writing, the acting, the "your PlayStation will shut off due to inactivity" warning popping up every hour cutscene. Oh, here come the cutscenes Yakuza is known for. It's all here, and better than ever. To the point that I'm finding myself to be fully, deeply, overly invested in this crazy labyrinth of a story, craving to know just what is gonna happen next. Something that, at least for me, wasn't necessarily a thing in the previous 7th game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good, but it wasn't this good.
Yeah, I'll let that scumbag. I'm pissing myself over here.
I think the main factor as for why I can't stop thinking about the story in this one is rather simple. The party in Infinite Wealth is actual peak. Amazingly written, properly fleshed out characters with deep, grounded, interesting backstories, motivations and secrets that play and bounce off of each other in the most entertaining, yet realistic of ways.
もう少しで死ぬとこだったんだぞお前そうだなビビったぜビビったじゃねえよバカ野郎
The whole party is perfect, but as expected, the main two protagonists is where this thing really shines. The always positive, charismatically expressive Heart of Gold Ichiban, alongside the legendarily stoic, silently confident Dragon of Dojima Kiryu, is a surprising match made in heaven.
あおいそれよりここどうなってるあいやもういいや
Oh my
キリュウ
god,
さん
man.
俺の髪の毛大丈夫ですか玉かすったと思うんすけどハゲてません
別になんともねえよ先っちょが増えてるだけだ
I mean, you've got these two larger-than-life personalities that let their presence be known wherever they go. It would be so easy for one to outshine the other, but no, they don't. And it's not like they dampen them either for the sake of now there being two of them, no. They're both still very much their 100% selves at all times. It's just that whoever wrote this story clearly understands both characters' strengths and weaknesses thoroughly, and then just plays with them in a very complementary way. Ichiban's strengths fill in where Kiryu's weaknesses lack, and vice versa, resulting in a power couple that one shall not mess with if one likes breathing. This is not Ichiban's and Kiryu's game. This is Ichiban's and Kiryu's game. As for the other party members, I'm not gonna go much into detail on those, because again, I don't want to spoil too much, but rest be assured, they are amazing too. They are very much different from the main two, making the complementary style of writing develop itself even further. Yes, obviously, they're not up there with Ichiban and Kiryu, I mean they're brand new characters after all, but even then, the game does a fantastic job of taking its time to flesh them out properly, forcing you to care about them just as much as the main duo.
頼りにしてるぜ富澤
じゃあ改めて行こうぜまずはローマンの野郎からだ
頼もしい仲間ができたな
富澤のためにもやってやりましょうや
Ah, what a fucking teamwork, man. These guys are. Holy shit. You love to see it. Outside of the story cutscenes, the game mainly achieves this through the aforementioned friendship bingo cards, each carrying a little seemingly random story from the character's past, revealing a new little bit of the individual's personality.
よっしゃ
Yes! That's a
ーま
bingo!
た距離が縮まったな
Hey, whoa! 2 levels! That's awesome. I'm the best friend. Or there's the little talks you can have with them in bars and restaurants. Or the simplest, yet probably the most effective psychological trick I've witnessed in a game yet. You can buy them gifts. Sounds simple, I know, but hear me out. You are going through the mall with your party, your friends, when suddenly you pass a watch shop. You look over and there in the window you see a very nice Rolex watch. Ooh, I bet Kiryu would appreciate this, you think? Boom! Monkey Brain is invested in this made-up, not real character, just because I bought him a gift. It's so stupid, and it feels borderline illegal how well this works. But hey, sometimes the simplest things do. Like making me spend $15 on a shitty little Hawaiian island, fending off boars with my Sujiman. Speaking of which, I need to wrap it up here, my island needs me. So, to sum it up, the story is engaging as ever, very much thanks to the amazing roster of incredibly well-written characters. Honolulu is as much fun as it is dense, the combat has been upgraded greatly, to the point it's almost perfect now, and the amount of side content is enough to fill 4-hour games nowadays. Was there anything I didn't really like? Well, I guess the turn-based combat could still use some tweaking. The constantly moving enemies are sometimes hard to predict, making you attack the wrong person entirely. The parry button is the same as the guarding button, making you straight up skip a whole turn if you misjudge the incoming attack pattern, or just the fact that there's no way to surprise ambush the enemies. It's a lot of fun and a great mechanic in Baldur's Gate. Oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
We didn't even save. But then, I left the biggest sin of them all for the last. The arcade games are kind of shit this time around. Fishing and fighting. Wow. Where's the racing? I wanna race! But even then, these are just the tiniest of nitpicks in otherwise, in my opinion, perfect game. If I had to rate it, only up to the point where I'm at in the game, of course, I'd give it solid 9 Kiryu Stoic stares out of 10. Minus 1 stare just because I haven't finished the game yet, and that's unforgivable. Who's to say they're gonna even stick the landing and it'll not just turn into Game of Thrones out of nowhere. I guess I'll have to go and find out for myself, and probably make part 2 in the near future. That is, of course, if I'll even ever manage to leave this curse of an island. Okay, I've been gone for way too long now, they probably miss me already, I gotta go. Okay, bye! What? Wait, how? What? I looked up for a split second! What was that? Man, you can't be doing this. I almost missed my notes.